Alright guys, we're going to be talking about yet another, I'm sure you're very surprised, Yngwie Malmsteen Stratocaster that I recently picked up. This one's a bit of an oddity and or a rarity, although maybe not necessarily the most desirable model, but you don't really see very many of these. At least I know I haven't. Maybe 5 total for sale in the past 6 years, but not this one in particular. So let me grab it and I'll show you. Alright, so this one is the standard model. These were made available for export by Fender Japan, at least according to Fender, officially from 1991 to 1993. I do recall seeing them listed from 1990 to 1994 in the Fender Frontline catalog. So these ones, they kind of vary in the quality that you're going to get and the stuff like that. So we'll start at the top as usual. 2-string trees on this, so only Yngwie model that's an official model that came with 2-string trees. This one has the Fender Japan type Godo tuners, which were very common at the time. This one, as you can see, has a drop D tuner, which I'm probably going to remove that because I just don't like it. I don't see much use for it. If I want the guitar tuned to drop D or drop C sharp in this case, then I'll do that and I'll just leave it there. I don't need to jump back and forth. This one has a brass nut. As far as I know, that was not original, even though this one, whomever put it in, did an incredibly good job because it looks totally factory. The scallops on some of them are not so good. This one actually, they're pretty shallow, but they're very consistent. So they go from fret to fret, and they don't really have that little ledge or shelf, as some people like to call it. They do have the small vintage frets, so I guess this would be the only Yngwie model with the large headstock that also had the vintage size frets. Some people like them. I prefer the super jumbos myself, but you know, they didn't come on the standard model. They're always the vintage style frets. This color, bit of confusion with this color because it's obviously green, right? It was officially listed and advertised as Fender color number 772 or 72, depending on which advertisement you see, which is Sonic Blue for the most part. It does say in some of the Fender color listings that it's also the same color, number 72, is aged Sonic Blue, which pretty much kind of looks like this. So take that, you know, however you will. These came with single coils from the factory. This one does not have single coils. This one has, I think, a JB Junior here in the bridge. It has a lay sensor in the middle position, which actually I kind of cheated and I just put a piece of black electrical tape on to keep the black theme going, and it has an HS3 in the neck. Now, as far as I know, these only came with single coils. 1 year, which is 1990, they were to have came, at least according to Fender advertisements, with the Fender single coils from the US. That's also the same year that this bridge is supposed to have been on these, which is 1990. And this is the only one that I've ever seen with the American Standard bridge. I don't particularly like this bridge, but it's already on there, so I'm not going to bother changing it. All of the Fender's Yngwie Malmsteen standards, at least as far as I know, came with the black knobs and black pickup covers. This pickup cover appears to be the original on the neck pickup, and then these knobs that are black are original, not to this standard, but to my other standard, which is all set up in white. You can see that in one of my other videos. Also, the only Yngwie model with a 3-bolt neck, which, you know, for most veteran players like myself, I'm not flinging the guitar around, so it doesn't really matter. But for Yngwie, there's no way he would be able to deal with these guitars because I have every so often moved it just quickly enough and it moved the neck around. So I could definitely see why he would want to convert them to 4-bolt. But for me, I don't really see any need for it. This one has the weird tapered bridge block of the American Standard tremolo. I think that's really about it. this guitar actually plays really well, sounds really good. Definitely impressed by the JB Jr. It's definitely no HS3 or Seymour Duncan YJM. It's a bit hotter, so if you want a little more chug-a-chug, that'd be a good pickup for you to switch out to. I'm not decided on if I'm going to leave it in there or not. We'll see what happens. Cool. Have a good one.